नमस्कार। मैं आप सभी का स्वागत करता हूं। आज के इस वीडियो में हम डिस्कस करेंगे क्लास 11th के स्टूडेंट्स के लिए चैप्टर है स्ट्रेट लाइंस। फर्स्ट एक्सरसाइज के सभी क्वेश्चंस को हम एक एक करके डिस्कस करेंगे। बड़े प्यार से, बड़े ध्यान से आपने पूरे वीडियो को देखना है। आखिर तक देखेंगे, समझेंगे, अपनी नोटबुक पर भी क्वेश्चंस को नोट करेंगे। वीडियो की तरफ बढ़ने से पहले एक छोटा सा शेयर मैं आपके साथ मनोरंजन के रूप में पेश कर रहा हूँ। वक्त के ऊपर एक संदेश, वक्त के ऊपर दो चार बातें। किसी ने किस तरह से कुछ अल्फाज अल्फाज जो हैं पेश किए हैं। वक्त कहते, वक्त लगता है प्यार का पहला खत लिखने में, वक्त लगता है। वक्त लगता है प्यार का पहला खत लिखने में, वक्त लगता है। आजकल तो व्हाट्सएप का ज़माना है, वक्त नहीं लगता है। ये पुराने ज़माने की बात है। किसी ने इस तरह से कहा है, वक्त लगता है प्यार का पहला खत लिखने में, वक्त लगता है। नई टेक्नोलॉजी सीखने में वक्त लगता है। अभी अभी तो हमने सीक्वेंसेस एंड सीरीज़ का चैप्टर फिनिश किया। अब ये नया चैप्टर स्ट्रेट लाइंस, इसको स्टडी करेंगे, इसको भी सीखेंगे। वक्त लगेगा, कोई ज़्यादा बड़ी बात नहीं है, हम फिर भी सीखेंगे। तो आइए बढ़ते हैं आज की वीडियो के साथ। Before proceeding towards the exercise 10.1 for the students of class 11 subject mathematics, the name of the chapter is straight lines. Let us have the introduction. Here suppose we are given 2 points. First point, this is P. Suppose its coordinates are x1, y1. Okay, and second point is Q. Its coordinates are x2, y2. Okay, now we join these 2 points. This way, this is called line segment, and if we extend the line to both sides of the points of the end points and put arrow mark both sides, then this is called line. Suppose its name is L. Now what is the equation? How to find the equation of the straight line? The equation will be y minus this ordinate y1 equal to slope of the line. This is y2 minus y1 divide x2 minus x1 into x minus x1 abscissa. Okay, so this is called the equation of the straight line, right? We can also say this way, y minus y2 is equal to y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1 into x minus x2, right? So this will also give the same equation. Okay, if we consider this as the first point, then we use this. If we consider this as the first point, then we use this equation. Okay, the result will be same in each case. Now this is the y2 minus y1 divide x2 minus x1. This is called slope of the line. Okay, this is called the slope of the line. Slope of the line mean, suppose we have the x-axis horizontal line this way, this is the horizontal line, we call this as x-axis, and this is y-axis, vertical line, y-axis, this is origin O, right? Now this angle is theta, so we say tangent theta is equal to slope of the line. Okay, so this way we can find the slope of the line. Here we are also interested to find the distance between 2 points P and Q. So this distance is denoted by this way: PQ bar sign is equal to square root of x2 minus x1 its whole square plus y2 minus y1 its whole square. So this is called the distance between 2 points on the straight line P and Q. 2 points are P and Q. Okay. Now let us discuss about two lines. Suppose one more line is there which is very much parallel to the first line. I am drawing this way. Okay, so this is the line to say L dash, right? So line L is parallel to L dash. It means slope of L is equal to slope of L dash. If we name y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1 is equal to m1, this is the slope of the first line. Similarly, suppose A and B are the points on the line L dash, and here the slope of the line L dash is m2. Then L first line is parallel to L dash. It means the slope m1 is equal to m2. So this is the condition that two lines are parallel to each other. Similarly, we can discuss about the perpendicular. If two lines are perpendicular, I have the second line like this. This line is L dash. Okay. Perpendicular mean these two lines are making 90-degree angle with each other. Okay. Again, we are saying here the slope of first line L is m1, and that of the slope of the second line L dash is m2. First line L is perpendicular to second line. It means product of the slopes m1 into m2 will be equal to -1. So this is the condition to say the two lines are perpendicular to each other. Sometime we are also interested in finding out the angle between two lines. Angle between two lines, right? So how to find the angle between two lines? This is the coordinate plane, x-axis and y-axis. Suppose there are two lines. This is the first line I am going to draw here, and suppose the name of this line is L1. Okay, one more thing we are going to consider here: angle. subtended by this line with x-axis. Suppose this is alpha 1, right? Now considering another line, suppose I have one more line, second line, this way, right? And we name this line as L2. Okay, again we consider that this line is inclined at x-axis, inclination angle is alpha 2. Okay, now what is our question? What is the angle between line L1 and L2? Suppose this angle is theta. Now how to find this angle theta? We write this as tangent theta is equal to sine of modulus m1 minus m2 divide 1 plus m1 into m2, right? So this way, substituting the values in this formula, we can find the angle. Here one thing is there, 1 plus m1 into m2 should not be equal to 0, right? Now what is m1? m1 is equal to slope of first line, that is tangent of alpha 1. Likewise, what is m2? m2 is the slope of second line, which is also called tangent of alpha 2, right? Now coming to the exercise, the very first question of exercise 10.1, draw a quadrilateral in the Cartesian plane whose vertices are minus 4, 5, 0, 7, 5, minus 5 and minus 4, minus 2. Also find its area. So let us draw these points in the Cartesian plane. First of all, we have the coordinate system of plane x dash, y dash coordinate axis. Now we have marked them in the plane, these points, equal partition. The very first point is minus 4, 5. X is minus 4. This is x is minus 4. Y is plus 5. So this point is minus 4, 5. Second point is 0, 7. X is 0, y is 7. So this point is 0, 7. Third point is 5. X is 5, y is minus 5. Y minus 5 is here. So this point 5 minus 5. Last point is x is minus 4, y is minus 2. X is minus 4, y is minus 2. So this point minus 4, minus 2. Now we join these points. Joining first two points, we have this line. Joining second and third point, we have this side. Joining third point and fourth point, we have this side. Lastly, we have the fourth side of the quadrilateral. So this way we have drawn the quadrilateral. We may name this quadrilateral as A, B, C, D. Now this way the first part of the question is over. Draw a quadrilateral in the Cartesian plane whose vertices are given. Second part of the question is also find its area. In order to find the area of the quadrilateral, we are going to divide the whole quadrilateral into two parts. Area, this diagonal AC. This way we have two triangles. The whole quadrilateral is divided into two triangles. So area of the quadrilateral is equal to area of triangle ABC plus area of triangle ADC. In order to find the area of triangle ABC, we write 1 by 2 minus 4 5 0 7 5 minus 5. Again starting point is minus 4 5. Right? Now we calculate this equal to 1 by 2 into multiplying 4 and 7, then 0 and 5, this way cross multiplication rule. Right? So how we write? Minus 4 into 7 minus 28, minus symbol 0, plus 0 into minus 5 0, minus sign 5 into 7 35, plus 5 into 5 25, minus 4 into minus 5 20. Outside we have the modulus sign. So area of the triangle becomes 1 by 2 into modulus of minus 28 minus 35 plus 5, which is equal to 1 by 2 modulus of minus 28 minus 30, which becomes 1 by 2 into 58 equal to 29. So substituting this value here, area of the quadrilateral is equal to area of triangle ABC, which we have calculated to be equal to 29, plus similarly we can find the area of second triangle ADC, which is equal to 63 divide 2. Okay, so finally adding these two, we have 121 upon 2 square unit, the required area of the this quadrilateral. Now coming to question number 2, the base of an equilateral triangle with the side 2A lies along the y-axis such that the midpoint of the base is at the origin. Find the vertices of the triangle. As per the statement, let this is the coordinate system of axis. Coordinate axis. Suppose this is the distance A unit from the origin, and below the y-axis this is also the distance A up to here, so that the total distance becomes 2A of the triangle. This distance now is equal to 2A. Right? Moreover, equilateral triangle, it means this is making 60 degree angle. So this way we have the angle 60 degree angle. Equilateral triangle means 60 degree angle. So this side, this angle is also equal to 60 degree. Each angle is equal to 60 degree. Each side is also equal. So this triangle is called equilateral triangle. Right? The base of an equilateral triangle, this is the base. Side 2A lies along y-axis such that the midpoint is at the origin. Find the vertices of the triangle. In the very beginning, because this A coordinate, the coordinates of A will be A comma 0, and that of the coordinate of B will be 0 comma A, because y is at A distance, x is 0 comma A, here this is 0 comma minus a. Now this is the coordinate C. What are the coordinates of this vertex? Obviously here y is 0. The only thing is what is the value of x. Let us find that. Now what is the area of equilateral triangle? The formula for finding the area of equilateral triangle is square root 3 upon 4 side whole square. Also we can say that the area of the triangle is equal to 1 by 2 into base into height. So we can say 1 by 2, base is 2a, height is h, mean to say OC is equal to square root 3 upon 4. Side of the triangle, this is also 2a, its whole square. So from here we have 2h is equal to square root of 3a square. From here we say, sorry, this 2 is cancelled, ah, h is equal to square root of 3a. So this is h, mean to say square root of 3a is equal to OC, right? Likewise this triangle can take the shape to this side. So the coordinates of the triangle, they will be 0a, 0 comma minus a, and square root of 3a into 0, or we can say these will remain same, that is 0a, 0 minus a, and when this will turn to this side, then we have abscissa equal to minus square root 3a comma 0. Next question. Question number 3. Find the distance between P x1 y1 and Q x2 y2 when first part is PQ is parallel to y-axis. The diagram is like this. This is the coordinate system of plane. PQ is parallel to y-axis. If this is parallel to y-axis, then if this distance is x1, suppose this is x, then this will also be equal to x because parallel to x-axis. Now what says the formula? Distance between PQ is equal to square root of x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square. Okay, now x2 is x, x1 is also x, so this x minus x whole square, that is equal to 0. So this becomes, what is y2? y2 minus y1 whole square. Square root will get cancelled, so we have y2 minus y1. Because distance is always non-negative, so we have to put modulus sign. So this is the required distance. In the second part, find the distance between P x1 y1 and Q x2 y2 when PQ is parallel to x-axis. This way, the line is parallel to x-axis. Now in this case, y1 is equal to y, this y2 is also equal to y, mean to say height is same, right? So what is the formula? PQ, distance between P and Q, is equal to square root of x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 its whole square. Now x2 x1 they are y1 and y2 they are y, so distance is 0. So we have the answer x2 minus x1 as the required distance between P and Q. Now coming to question number 4. Find a point on x-axis which is equidistant from the points 7, 6 and 3, 4. Suppose this is the x-axis and this is first point and this is second point. Okay, 7, 6, 3, 4. Any point on x-axis, suppose this is A, its coordinates they will be equal to x, 0, क्योंकि y coordinate, because y coordinate is 0 here on x-axis. So what is our purpose? Suppose this point is B and this point is C. This is given that AB is equal to AC. What is given? Distance AB is equal to distance AC, right? So this means square root of AB 7 minus x or x minus 7 whole square plus 0 minus 6 whole square is equal to square root of, likewise we have x minus 3 whole square plus 0 minus 4 whole square. Taking square on both sides, this square root will be cancelled, so we are left with x square minus 14x plus 49 plus 36 is equal to x square minus 6x plus 9 plus 16. Again this x square is cancelled, so we have minus 14x plus 6x, 7x, 8x, minus 8x, minus 8x plus 85 equal to 25. This means minus 8x is equal to minus 25 minus 85, that is equal to minus 60. That means the value of x is this is 15 into 4, 64 into 2, 15 upon 2. So this way what we can say, the coordinates of A are 15 upon 2, 0. Find a point on x-axis. So this is the point. Our next question is question number 5. Find the slope of a line which passes through the origin and the midpoint of the line segment joining the points P 0, minus 4 and B 8, 0. First of all, what is the midpoint of P and B? This is x coordinate is 0 plus x coordinate is 8 divide 2, y coordinate is minus 4 plus y coordinate is 0 divide 2, which is equal to 4, minus 2. Now what is the question? Find the slope of the line which passes through the origin. Origin is coordinates are 0, 0 and the midpoint, and which passes through the midpoint. This is the midpoint. Suppose the coordinates of midpoint are 4, minus 2. They are obtained here, right? So this way we have to find the equation of OP. How to find the slope? How to find the slope? Slope is equal to y2 minus y1 divide x2 minus x1. This is equal to y2 is minus 2 minus 0 divide x2 is 4 minus x1 is 0. So this is equal to minus 2 upon 4, which is equal to minus 1 upon 2. So this is the required slope. Question number 6. Without using the Pythagoras theorem, show that the points 4, 4, 3, 5 and minus 1, minus 1 are the vertices of the right angled triangle. Suppose this is point A, this is point B and this is point C. Here we are interested to find the slope. slope of first side AB is equal to 5 minus 4 divide 3 minus 4, because slope is y2 minus y1 divide x2 minus x1. So let us name the slope of AB as m1 is equal to 5 minus 4 is 1, 3 minus 4 is minus 1. That means m1 is equal to minus 1. Likewise, slope of BC is equal to minus 1 minus 5, minus 1 minus 5 divide minus 1 minus 3, minus 1 minus 3. So we name this as m2 equal to minus 6 upon minus 4. That means m2 is equal to 3 upon 2, right? Similarly, we can find the slope of AC. Slope of AC is equal to minus 1 minus 4 divide minus 1 minus 4, minus 1 minus 4. So we name this as m3 equal to this is plus 1. So what is the conclusion? From these three slopes we see that product m1 into m3 is equal to minus 1. If the product of any two sides, the slopes of any two sides is equal to minus 1, it means the triangle is a right angled triangle. So AB is perpendicular. M1 mean slope of AB and M3 mean slope of AC. AB is perpendicular to AC. So triangle ABC is A1. Find the slope of the line which makes an angle of 30 degree with the positive direction of y-axis measured anti-clockwise. So according to the statement, we have y-axis, x-axis, and this way line is like this. Right? Mean to say this is the line L with positive direction anti-clockwise. That means this angle anti-clockwise. This angle is 30 degree angle. Now what is this angle? From here we can say, calculating this angle from this side, we have 60 degree, 30 plus 60, 90 degree. So with x-axis 60, what is the total angle? Mean to say what is the angle made by this line with x-axis? This is equal to 90 degree plus 30 degree. Therefore slope of the line is tangent theta. What is theta? 90 degree plus 30 degree, which is equal to minus cotangent of 30 degree. That is, this is equal to minus cotangent 30 degree square root of 3 is the required slope of the line. Our next question is question number 8. Find the value of x for which the points x comma minus 1, 2 comma 1 and 4 comma 5 are collinear. Again we name these points as A, B, C. Right? Now these 3 points are collinear. A, B and C are collinear if slope of AB is equal to slope of BC or AC, right? So this means slope of AB is 1 minus minus 1 divide 2 minus x is equal to slope of BC is 5 minus 1 divide 2 minus 4. That means 2 upon 2 minus x is equal to 4 upon minus 2. This means 2 upon 2 minus x is equal to minus 2. Again, cancelling 2, we have 1 upon 2 minus x is equal to minus 1. So from here we can find minus 2 plus x is equal to 1, which means x is equal to 3. Here we have made one mistake. Slope of BC is 5 minus 1 divide 2 4 minus 2. This was 4 minus 2, which is equal to plus 2, right? Plus 2. So this way we have 2 minus x is equal to 1, mean to say x is equal to 1 is the required value of x. Next question is question number 9. Without using distance formula, show that the points minus 2 comma minus 1, 4 comma 0, 3 comma 3 and minus 3 comma 2 are the vertices of a parallelogram. Okay, so what we say, suppose this is the parallelogram, right? The vertices are A, B, C, D. We name these points as, here this is A, this is B, this is C and this is D. So we are interested to find the slopes of the sides of the parallelogram. First of all, let us discuss what is the slope of AB. How to find the slope? M is equal to y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. This is the rule how to find the slope of the side. So 0 minus minus 1 divide 4 minus minus 2. So this becomes m1, say name of this is m1. m1 is equal to 1 upon 4 plus 2 is 6. Similarly, the slope of BC, that will be equal to 3 minus 0 divide 3 minus 4, which means m2 is equal to 3 upon minus 1 minus 3. Similarly, we find the slope of CD. Here the slope of CD is equal to 2 minus 3 divide minus 3 minus 3, which means m3 is equal to minus 1 upon minus 6, that is 1 upon 6. Likewise, what is the slope of DA? That will be equal to minus 1 minus 2 divide minus 2 plus 3. That means m4 is equal to minus 3 divide 1, that is equal to minus 3. So what we see here, slope of BC is minus 3, slope of AD is also minus 3. So these two sides are parallel. Slope of AB is equal to 1 by 6, slope of CD is also 1 by 6. So these two sides are also parallel. So this way we have proved that these are the vertices of the parallelogram. Next question is question number 10. Find the angle between the x-axis and the line joining the points 3, minus 1 and 4, minus 2. The slope here, the slope is equal to tangent theta. That means slope, how to find the slope of the line? y2 minus y1 divide x2 minus x1 is equal to tangent theta, right? Theta is the angle made by this line with x-axis. y2 is minus 2 minus minus 1, y1 is minus 1, divide 4 minus 3 is equal to tangent theta. So from here we can say tangent theta is equal to minus 2 plus 1 minus 1 divide 1. That means tangent theta is equal to minus 1. Now what we can say here, like this, the line, this is x-axis and this is y-axis, and this way, this is the line. Okay, tangent theta is equal to minus 1, second quadrant. In the second quadrant, this means theta is equal to 90 degree plus 45 degree, 135 degree. So this theta is the angle made by the required line with x. Question number 11. The slope of a line is double of the slope of another line. If tangent of the angle between them is 1 upon 3, find the slopes of the lines. Suppose we are given here, this is the coordinate plane and this is line, first line L1 say, and suppose this is the second line L2 say, right? Now what we know, if theta is the angle between the two lines, then we know the rule. What is the rule? Tangent theta is equal to m1 minus m2 divide 1 plus m1 into m2. Here m1 is the slope of first line and m2 is the slope of second line. But in the question this is given that suppose slope of first line is double the slope of second line L2. So slope of first line, we assume this to be equal to m1 is equal to 2 into m2, right? We shall substitute this value. So we have tangent theta is equal to, moreover this is also given that tangent theta is equal to tangent of the angle between them is 1 upon 3. So we write it as 1 upon 3 is equal to m1 mean 2 m2 minus m2 divide 1 plus 2m2 into m2, right? So now we have 1 upon 3 is equal to m2 divide 1 plus 2m2 whole square. Cross multiplying, this becomes 2m2 whole square plus 1 minus 3m2 is equal to 0, right? So this is the quadratic equation to say 2x square minus 3x plus 1 is equal to 0. Quadratic equation, right? So what are the values of x? We can write this as 2x square minus 2x minus 1x plus 1 is equal to 0, right? Further solving this, we have 2x as the common factor, x minus 1 minus 1x minus 1 is equal to 0, right? So this way we can say the value of x is 1 comma 1 upon 2. What is x? This is m2. So m2 slope is 1 comma 1 by 2. So what was the question? Find the slopes of the lines. Number 1, m2, if we take 1, then m1 is double, this is 2. Second time, if m2 is 1 by 2, this means m1 is 1. These are the slopes of the lines. Next question. Question number 12. A line passes through x1 comma y1 and h comma k. If slope of the line is m, show that k minus y1 is equal to m into h minus x1, right? So here what we do, a line passes through this point and this point. If the slope of the line is m, we can find the equation like this: y minus y1 equal to slope into x minus x1, right? So here y minus y1 is okay, slope is m, x minus this x1 is okay. Now this must satisfy h and k. So put x is h, y is k. So k minus y1 is equal to m into h minus x1. So hence the result. Next question. Question number 13. If 3 points h comma 0, a comma b and 0 comma k lie on a line, show that a upon h plus b upon k is equal to 1. Now suppose the points form a triangle like this. This is h comma 0, this is a comma b, this is 0 comma k. If points lie on a line, it means area of triangle is equal to 0. This means half, suppose h0 is the starting point, h0, next is a comma b, ab, next is 0k. Lastly we write the same starting point, h0. area of triangle is equal to 0. This is the formula to find the area of the triangle, right? Now we multiply this way, cross multiplication. This is one method of finding the area of the triangle, right? So now what happens, 1 by 2 cannot be equal to 0, just this we are substituting equal to 0. This means h into b minus a into 0 plus a into k minus 0 into b plus 0 into 0 minus h into k is equal to 0, right? Now what happens, this becomes hb plus ak minus hk equal to 0. Now dividing both sides by hk, so this becomes b upon k plus a upon h is equal to 1. The same result is obtained, so we say hence the result. Next question. Next question, question number 14. Consider the following population graph and year graph. Find the slope of the line AB. Using it, find what will be the population in the year 2010. Right? So, in the year 2010, we have this point, right? So here we see the population will be like this. Approximately this value is 104.5. So the population in the year 2010 is equal to 104.5 crore, right? But before that, what is the slope? Slope of AB, this is A and this is B, is equal to y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. What is y2? 97 minus 92 divide 1995 minus 1985. So this is equal to 5 upon 10, which is equal to 1 upon 2 is the slope of the line population graph. That's all. Thank you very much.